Hello and welcome. This is TVC News at 7. We'll begin in Abuja, where the back and forth between the federal government and social media giant Twitter has taken a different dimension. Barely 2 days after Twitter pulled down President Muhammadu Buhari's tweets for contravening the rule of the platform, the federal government a moment ago said it has suspended indefinitely the operations of the microblogging and social networking service Twitter in Nigeria. Minister of Information and Culture Lai Mohammed announced the suspension in a statement issued by his office in Abuja. The statement, signed by Ministry spokesperson Segun Adeyemi, cited the persistent use of the platform for activities capable of undermining Nigeria's corporate existence. According to the statement, the minister said the federal government has also directed the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, to immediately commence the process of licensing all OTT and social media operations in Nigeria. It is not yet clear how the suspension will work, but the Twitter website was still accessible from Lagos as of Friday afternoon. The suspension comes days after Twitter deleted a tweet from President Muhammadu Buhari's official account. The tweet had referenced the Nigerian civil war as the president threatened to treat Nigerians misbehaving in the language they understand. It sparked reactions from many Nigerians who interpreted the statement as a threat to commit human rights violations. Well, let's bring in TVC senior correspondent Femi Akande from Abuja for more on this development. Femi, you joined us at 6 to share some insight on this development. For the benefit of those who didn't watch at that time and with the benefit of updates on this, what exactly is the implication of this action by the federal government?
Well, the implication is simple. Nigerians, social media users in Nigeria will no longer be able to engage on Twitter, the micro-blogging site. And, Twitter is the 6th most used social media platform in the country. But as soon as this decision by the federal government goes into effect, Nigerians, especially those who are addicted to Twitter, those who use Twitter for various engagements, would no longer be able to access the platform. Twitter has increasingly become very prominent and significant in both domestic and international politics. It has also been used as an advocacy platform to drive or to push for change in the country. And then, this decision has come with have been met with different criticisms. Well, let me tell you, the latest is coming from SERAP, the Socio-Economic Rights Advocacy Program. I told you earlier that at 6 p.m. that this move by the federal government might be met with legal fireworks, and we're already seeing one from SERAP. SERAP in this tweet is saying that we are suing Nigerian authorities over their illegal, indefinite suspension of Twitter in Nigeria. Nigerians have a right to freedom of expression and access to information, including online, and we plan to fight to keep it that way. See you in court. That is referring to the Nigerian government. We've also seen a tweet from Amnesty International in Nigeria, where they say Amnesty International condemns the Nigerian government's suspension of Twitter in Nigeria, a social media widely used by Nigerians to exercise their human rights, including their rights to freedom of expression and access to information. We call on Nigerian authorities to immediately reverse the unlawful suspension and other plans to gag the media, repress the civic space, and undermine Nigeria's human rights. Hashtag Twitter ban. This hashtag Twitter ban is trending as we speak online. We've also seen statements from political leaders, people in the opposition. The former president of the Senate, Bukola Saraki's tweet, he says, "No, sir, this should not be the response from the president of a nation with a vibrant, youthful population for whom Twitter is part of their daily lives and the source of their income and livelihood. This must be reviewed." Well, we don't know what impact all of this pressure piling at the moment will have on the federal government, whether the federal government will budge and reconsider its decision reconsider its decision on the suspension of Twitter. We also know that before now there have been moves by the federal government to regulate the social media. We have seen the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, at different fora talking about the need to regulate the social media. We have seen a bill to regulate the social media in the National Assembly. Of course, that has not seen the light of day as we speak, but there has been that body language and intention of the government to look for a way to regulate the social media, because according to the federal government, the social media is a space that is used to spew hate and also incite people to violence. They have been trying to come up with different regulations. There's the hate speech already, and there are some other regulations, but they have not been able to get a hang of how to properly regulate the social media space. Well, this suspension might be the first step, and we're already hearing from that statement released by the Minister of Information and Culture that all social media platforms in Nigeria will be registered. So that is a step towards that regulation that the federal government had muted over time, but was unsuccessful. Abosede.
Well, one of the latest reactions to happenings in the country is that of Facebook, for instance, another social media giant, actually deleting the president's tweet, as has to do with the Civil War of 1967 through 1970. But as it stands now, Femi, I am really curious as to what the real issues are. We know there have been mentions about NSAS funding and all of that. Could you help put into perspective what actually are the issues that the federal government has with Twitter?
Well, the federal government is already accusing Twitter of using its platform to undermine the coexistence of Nigerians, and also undermine the authority of the federal government of Nigeria. Before now, Twitter has been that veritable vehicle that the federal government and indeed ministries, departments, and agencies use to disseminate information, government policies, plans, and action. It has been very effective in achieving that aim. But things went south when President Muhammadu Buhari, on his verified Twitter handle, put out that tweet. A lot of these social media platforms have regulations and guiding their operation, and they say that President Muhammadu Buhari's tweet falls below the standards set by their media or microblogging organization. They say the President Muhammadu Buhari's tweet promotes hate, violence, and also threatens civil war, and that is against the guiding principles and standards of Twitter and indeed Facebook and a lot of other social media platforms. So that is why they had to take that big decision to delete President Muhammadu Buhari's tweet. But it's not the first,
Indeed, Femi.
President Donald Trump's tweet was also deleted. There was so much hue and cry about all of that. But, it happened, and now Twitter is taking it hard on President Muhammadu Buhari, but the government in Nigeria is also not taking it lightly.
Well, for me, I was actually coming to that point that President Muhammadu Buhari isn't the first national leader whose account would be suspended or whose tweets would be brought down by the social media giant owing to allegations of flouting their standards of operation. But as it is, let's really look out for what happens the following day, because just a few moments ago, I was still able to access Twitter, and Mr. Segun Adeyemi, who actually put up that post from the office of the Minister of Information and Culture, himself used Twitter to post that information.
Yeah, well, it's funny. We have seen all of that comment on Twitter, using Twitter to announce the ban on Twitter. So many comments, some of them laced with sarcasm, different kind of innuendos. You know how Nigerians respond on social media. You know, a lot of people are saying that President Muhammadu Buhari's followership on Twitter is gradually reducing. Well, as of today, he still has about 4.1 million followers on Twitter. You know, during the NSAS crisis, he lost about 100,000 followers on Twitter. And we hear that since his tweet was deleted and the whole controversy it caused, he has also lost a number of followers. We can't verify the number he lost yet, but we know that he has lost a number of followers, and a number of people will still unfollow him. But what the federal government does not really care much about all of that. What they care about at the moment is ensuring that Twitter is not used as a tool to disintegrate the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
All right, Femi. Well, checking through Twitter just now, the president has 2.3 million followers. That's at NGR President, the verified Twitter handle.
No, I was referring to his personal Twitter handle at M. Buhari.
M. Buhari. Okay, Femi. Thank you very much for that update. We look forward to what happens, the steps that NBC would take, and the several reactions that would actually trail this decision by the government. Thank you very much, Femi, for speaking with us.